So welcome to the first episode of the Body Smart Fitness podcast. We are going to be chatting to Jaymie and Jim, finding out why they set up this business, how they help women break free of diet stuff that's been going on for over 20 years. And there might be a few odd swear words in the mix as well. So if you are watching this or listening right now, make sure there's no little ears present. Here we are. Another goal ticked off the list, guys.
Yep.
How long have you wanted to do a podcast for?
A while, quite some time, probably a year or so.
I reckon it's a bit longer than that.
Do you?
Yeah. We've been saying this for ages and ages and ages that we wanted to do one.
It's just time. But we've made the time.
We've made the time. It is a Saturday morning.
It is
We've
a Saturday
made the
morning.
time.
Yeah.
The diary's been crazy, but we've, you always say that actually, that you what do you say?
Say time is a matter of priorities. So stop saying I haven't got time and start saying it's not important enough. Ooh. Drop on a bombshell at the start.
Definitely.
But it is important enough right now. So that's why we're here.
So let's start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Gemma. I'm the head of content at Body Smart Fitness. Who are you, lovely gentlemen?
I'm Jim Walsh, co-founder here at Body Smart.
And I'm Jaymie Moran, one of the other co-founders here at Body Smart.
Now, for somebody who's just maybe clicked on this on the podcast, or the mate sent it to him and gone, have a listen to this. For somebody who does not have a clue what Body Smart Fitness is, what is it and what do you do?
So in a short snippet, we help busy professional women all around the world break free from restrictive diets, mindless exercise plans, and unhealthy beliefs. And we do that through our fitness, nutrition, and mindset coaching. Very good. Oh, look at that. That's been perfected. It has.
Over the years. All right then.
That was sharp.
Jim, I'll ask you then. So that was the elevator pitch. If you were to meet somebody in an elevator and tell them in a few seconds what you do, very good, very good. You'd get 5 stars for that. Very good. But Jim, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing for it is that we go deeper than a lot of other packages, coaching packages, wherever else out there. We help people with the mindset around nutrition. We help people with the mindset around fitness. It's really about helping ladies break away from the beliefs that they have and they've built up over many, many years around diet and exercise, and put them in a place where they feel fantastic about just a life in general when it comes to how it cascades into the family life, the relationships, the work and career, all those other aspects of life. That's really what we're here to have an impact on. So yeah, it is around diet, fitness, exercise, but it's much, much more than that.
Now, you said a really important word there. You said ladies. And for anybody watching, they'll quite clearly see that you two aren't female. And anybody listening, they'll hear Jim's very deep Barry White dulcet tones and know initially that you are not a lady. Why women? Why help women?
Honestly, for me, I've got 3 sisters. I've got a mum. My mum's auntie has got 3 daughters. So I've spent a lot of time. I've spent a lot of my life around women. And, even when I first started personal training, after a year, I thought being in shape, being a lad, I was going to attract more male clients. And I thought that is what would happen. And I did have a few guys in the beginning. But then after about a year, about 95% of my client base were women. So I started asking, some questions and started asking some of the staff who were working in the gym. And they said it's because you've got sisters, or it's because you're more compassionate. I can speak to you openly. There's no judgment. And I started asking my clients and they agreed. And, with that in mind, I thought, well, maybe this makes more sense for me to just start targeting my marketing one towards women, because I seem to connect and work better with them. And then 2 is that, men and women's physiology is very different. And, starting to just further my own education in terms of like what women need and what's going to be different, and how can we help, and how can I better serve them.
And let's take it back, because you said there about personal training. So where did you guys meet? Because you two have come together, formed a business, but where did it start? Where was the start of this beautiful relationship?
Goes way back.
Yeah. 16, I think I joined Total Fitness. And I was there for about 6 months or so, and then I signed up with Phil, who was one of the personal trainers there, and I was doing some training sessions with him and got to meet Jim. And then I decided, I seen there was another girl there called Chelsea, who's a a personal trainer in Dubai now, and she was doing this level 2 course that was, to become a fitness instructor, and she was getting paid to do it. And I was like, as if you get paid to do fitness, like that was like a dream. So I asked Phil, and then, EvoFit took me on and said I could do the level 2 under those guys. So I was then going down and, teaching beach fit camps down the beach, which was like a boot camp, and doing some other classes with the guys. Obviously, this is where I met Jim, and Chris Jim was a part of that gym and EvoFit at the time. So yeah, first initially met then, and then I kind of took a step away from all of that about 18. God, what do you call like a young crisis? All my friends, you know what I mean? Not like a midlife
like
crisis.
A teenage crisis.
Yeah, like all my friends were in
hormonal crisis.
Yeah, all my friends were in university. I felt like I had massive FOMO, missing out, wanted to do something else. So ended up just like moving away, partying for like a year or two, working in bars, still massively into me fitness and training and further education around that. And then eventually come back to Liverpool, moved to Leeds, come back to Liverpool about 20, and started training again in Total Fitness, seeing Jim, speaking to him and that type of stuff. Actually saved up a load of money and was about to move to Australia, applied for my visa, and then Jim drops me a text message out the blue and was like, hey, we've got a job here for you. We would really like to bring you on board as a personal trainer in the gym. And I just thought, I've got to give this a go. So I did done that for a couple of years, personal training, and Jim actually mentored me and helped me quite a lot with getting clients and just how to run a business and what I needed to be doing, which was invaluable at the time as a young 20-year-old lad trying to navigate his way through, being a personal trainer. And then quickly just got to a point where, well, that's how we met. I won't go into how the whole Body Smart thing started.
We will. But so for you, It was like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to get paid to do my level 2, do a few classes, have my teenage crisis, and then that sliding doors moment. You could have gone to Australia, or you could have gone, all right, Jim, yeah, I'm going to take your job, and that's what you did. But Jim, for you, your background, obviously you were Jamie's boss for a little bit, but your background is also around fitness. So tell us about your story. How did you get into it?
Yeah, I'd never really call me as boss. But
kind of word.
No, I don't think I'm anyone's boss. I work for everyone. That's the way I see it. But I think my background, obviously, I was in fitness. I've been in there for 15 years now. It's been quite a journey. I started in the gym, Group X. I started as a fitness instructor. Kind of like just walked in one day and went, hey, gonna become a fitness instructor? And they said, no, we've got no jobs. I said, okay, cool. I'll be over on the elliptical over there if you want to let me know. And he said, yeah, okay, cool. Came over about a couple of hours later and said, oh, we've got a job there for you. Great, I'll start on Monday. And that was really how I started in fitness. I have all my qualifications and that, but going through 10 years being inside the gym, being inside an environment where it can be a bit dog eat dog world kind of thing. It can be. We were trying to, I mean, Jaymie's talked about EvoFit. We tried to sort of like create an environment where that wasn't the case. I want to see, I'm pretty sure all the guys want to see everyone succeed, which has been massive in my sort of development. It come to a point where, Jay said he got a text off me. I was in a supermarket and I was saying to my partner at the time, or partner still, I was saying, listen, Jaymie's got to come on board. He's a fantastic, talented, personal trainer. I think there's so much more he can give. So that's when I drop him the text message. I think I actually got on a call with you at some point as well.
Yeah, I think so.
I was like, Jay, you got to do this. You got to do it. It's the progression for you. And that's really how that came about. So I wanted to see Jay in the gym. Why? Because I think he could do great work. Me, myself, I was at a point where I was 10 years, well, at that point, about 7 years in. I knew that there was so much more out in the world. And then a couple of years later, Body Smart came along.
Yeah.
We'd both hit a point where we really took personal training as far as we could. And we've kind of just got that natural, both of us, of like, what's the next thing? What's the next step? Just the desire to be better and to do more. So we were both doing 40, 50. I mean, Jim used to do like 70 hours a week of PT, which 70 hours a week of PT is not like 70 hours a week in a normal job. It's it's so intense because you're given that 100% for the hour. So he was doing insane hours. I thought I was doing a lot, but we really did feel like we'd hit this cap. We were probably charging as much as you could in the area. We paired some clients up, doing some in, groups of 3, working Saturdays, working Sundays. And then we just decided, hey, like the internet is a thing. why don't we explore that? And, I used to follow a lot of people on YouTube, like Christian Guzman and Joe Delaney and a few of like Lex Griffin. Loads of these guys were doing online fitness coaching or selling meal plans and doing all these things. And they were living these lives and traveling around. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to have this freedom of doing that, and wanted to take that step. So I really wanted to give, the online stuff a crack, because I had a waiting list of clients. I had more to give, and knew I was doing things different than other personal trainers. I was doing like weekly check-ins and nutritional support outside of the gym. So I already knew there was more to it. And the fact that I was able to get clients results when I'd take a week off, they were able to still communicate with me. So I could already see how the online stuff was working. And was about to go on board and do it all solo. And then Jim comes and grabs me and he's like, hey, like, why don't we, make this a proper business, make this a brand, and take the steps forward. And Body Smart was created. That's how it come about. And we went, even this was July 2000 or June or July 2015 it was. And we actually didn't go to market till November 2016. So nearly a year and a half later, and we went through a fair bit to get there. We tried to build an app with a company that didn't work out, lost a lot of money. Tried to build an app with another company, lost a lot of money. Probably talking like total, we've probably put in now 70 grand maybe.
It's probably more.
Yeah. And then if you take in the time that we spent and got all these meetings, oh my god. And I think we just hit a point like, why are we trying to build an app? We're not trying to be the best app developers. We're trying to be the best coaches. And so we just flipped it and started to just reinvent how the coaching was going to be, and really just started to focus on the marketing and the coaching, and took a slightly different direction and took a step away from that. Also, there's like a lot of third-party apps that you can use nowadays, like Trainerize and PT Distinction and all these different things. They didn't exist when we started, or they did, but they were very bad. They were very glitchy. So, a lot of people maybe done it over email and spreadsheets, and that's probably the way we should have gone, but we didn't. Expensive mistake, expensive lesson, but probably a good one. Now, looking back, definitely showed that we had enough grit and perseverance. I know I had my moments. I remember meeting Jim in the Pioneer in the bar once, and I had my head in my hands. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like 24. I've racked up all this debt. I've maxed out credit cards. I've got a personal loan. I'm making good money off personal training, but I've got no money because we're just putting it all back into this. So I really did have my moments. Maybe Jim put a strong face on to pull me through it. But yeah, we definitely had our moments. And, that was, like I said, that was 5.5 years ago now. And yeah, I don't really know where I was up to,
I remember going into Fox and Filter when it was still there in Liverpool, and we met up, and we just got out of a meeting, and we sat there, we looked at each other, and we just said, yeah, just lost 60k.
Yeah, because we'd walked out of the meeting and gone, right, we're not going to go ahead with this anymore, and they gave us the app that we'd spent over a year building on a pen drive, on a USB, and we just took the pen drive off them, and we went and met our girlfriends in the thing, and we were like, but we were dead happy. It was honestly a real sense of relief. Yeah, we were going like, we just lost 60k, right, get another glass of wine, just like, yeah, you know what I mean? It was one of them, but it was good because it finally allowed us to just put that to bed and start focusing on the next thing, which really did allow us to just start, accelerating the growth.
It allowed us to focus on what we do best, coach.
Yeah.
So,
which leads me nicely onto, I have this phrase, right, about any business or anything, like Wasagas. Why should anyone give a shit? That's what it stands for. Wasagas. Why should anyone give a shit? Yeah. So you are 2 personal trainers who've moved into online coaching, which a lot of people have done. And in the past year, a lot of businesses have pivoted. Because of the pandemic, they weren't able to work with people one-to-one, and many, many people have moved into this online coaching space. So Wassagas. Why should anyone give a shit about Body Smart? What makes you different?
I think we do give a shit. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More shits than most, and that's I think a lot of people see that, and there's a lot of people whose values and intentions are just obvious, maybe not obvious to the average person looking, but it's more about them, you know what I mean? And you see that in their social media pages, you see that in the content that they put out, you see that in the way they write the copy, you see that the fact that they're okay with their integrity is okay with giving generic plans out. They know that these generic plans don't work for people, and you know, we've never gone down that route. We could have gone down a route. We would, for the amount of time that we have to put in, we would probably make more money, because it's much easier to write a generic plan and sell that to 10,000 people than it is to bespoke, right? It's bespoke, tailored,
or customized.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. For our American friends,
because our American friends don't understand the word. Well, they're not used to and are familiar with the word bespoke. Jim, you found this speaking to many awesome American ladies who come to you for help, and you say bespoke, and they look at you like, what does that? What does that mean?
I think they look at me like that all the time. Thinking, are you Irish? Are you Scottish? Are you Scandinavian? And I'm like, no, I'm from England.
And to explain, actually, one of our clients messaged me the other day and said, what is a Scouser? I said, oh, that's somebody from Liverpool. She said, I've seen it on your page so many times and I didn't understand what it meant. Yeah. So you guys are Scousers. You are from Scousers. Liverpool, the birthplace of the Beatles, which is, if you're listening, especially to Jim, yeah, you sound more like a Beatle, I think.
Too?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
But why people should give a shit, I think it comes back to like what our business values are, which are, we are focused on results, education, sustainability, compassion and empathy.
Trust.
Should know these. There is one more.
Education, have we got that one?
I think so, yeah. And we actually worked out our values, actually coming to the acronym SECRET.
Yeah.
But I think what we've realized is that so many of the women that we speak to, have dieted for 10 or 15 years.
And the rest.
We put a poll up in a group the other day, and it was over 20 years of being on a yo-yo diet was the most popular answer, which is shocking, but it's actually not shocking to us anymore. And what we've just realized is that, all these women have just got a terrible relationship with the word diet. They're on a diet, they're off a diet. They're increasingly finding it harder. They're building up this identity that this is just maybe the way I'm going to be. I'm not going to be able to get results or get in shape. And I feel like, when they read our content and they follow us and they start to see that we offer, we're not offering the glitz and glam. We're not going like, you're going to get these crazy.
We're not sexy.
No, because sustainability isn't sexy to people. People want...
Why not?
Because they want right here, right now. It's an impulsive world of Amazon Prime and credit cards and everything you can get delivered the next day. People aren't patient. People don't... It's reps and sets in anything in life. To get good at anything, it's reps and sets. And, when people are looking at losing weight, everyone's looking for the fastest way of it to happen. But even after 20 years for some of these women, they still are just marked and still just sucks them in for that next thing, that next quick fix. And what did I say? Quick fist. Fucking hell.
This might get edited out, this bit. If it's still in, welcome to our world. Oh, that was a slip of the tongue, wasn't it?
It was. I've never done that, by the way. Fucking hell.
Disclaimer alert.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Right, anyway.
What's that?
So, sustainability. We want the clients that sign up to us not only to just get results, but understand why they've got results and make sure that they can keep results. And the data and the statistics show it's something like 85 to 95% of people who lose weight put it all back on. So losing weight actually isn't the hard part, and that's like triggered. Like if you say that, people get like triggered. Like, what do you mean losing weight isn't hard? Losing weight isn't hard. All these ladies we speak to have successfully lost weight in the past. it's maintaining the weight loss that is the difficult part. And that's because a lot of people just see like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet, and then once I've lost my weight, I'll just stop being on a diet and I'll revert back to the old habits and behaviors that got me in that place in the first place, which doesn't make any sense. You know, so for us, it's really being able to educate people on why they're getting results, you know, whether it's with their nutrition, whether it's the habits that they need to work on, the behavior changes they need to create, the training, whatever that looks like. You know, really give them that right mindset and right education to be able to get the results you want, but then also realize that, hey, like once you've got results, like it does get easier. Like you don't have to keep dieting. You can go up to a calorie maintenance, but you still have to take action. You know, if you don't use it, you lose it. But a lot of people think taking the actions is just so ridiculously difficult because their relationship with dieting has always been miserable and hard.
Yeah.
So they're just like, there's no way I could do that forever. There's just no way. And that's because that's what they believe living a fit and healthy lifestyle must be. That's what results must look like. And that isn't the case. So we offer a different way. You know, you might not lose 10 pounds in the first week. You probably won't, you know, but we'll show you how you can consistently get results week in, week out. We'll show you how you can consistently become, you know, more educated around your nutrition, your fitness, yourself. You know, self-awareness is huge. And when you get to that place of being in the best shape of your life, then we're going to show you how to maintain that and sustain that, which is arguably, you know, the more important part of the journey. Everyone's always so focused on that fat loss, that initial weight loss, but it's learning how to sustain and maintain that is the more important part, especially when you look at the data and those studies of it just being like 85 to 95%. It's crazy. It is really, really crazy.
It's quite sad as well.
It is.
And going back to the poll that you put out on the Facebook community, you know, over 20 years being on and off a diet, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of energy, and that's a lot of money spent over 2 decades to still not be where you want to be. And I include myself in that. You know, I'm going through the coaching process at the moment, and I have to say, do you know, actually for me, on a personal note, nothing to do with work, the most powerful part of coaching, and I'm with Kelly, is Kelly tells me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Mm-hmm. And that's hard. And on our very first call, she identified I'm a perfectionist. So the most valuable part of my coaching journey so far with Kelly has been fucking up, because that's where I learn.
Yep.
And I learn for next time. And I've learned money is a massive trigger for me. I didn't realise this. I'm 40 this year, and it's taken me till nearly 40 to learn that money is a trigger for me. Asking for help is a trigger for me, which makes me turn to food in the cupboard and other people's moods as well. And that, it's been nothing about starving myself, working out. It's been about
it's
recognising,
self-awareness.
oh my, it's
self-awareness.
been amazing.
And if people don't know themselves, I heard Gary Vee say if there was one thing he could make, it would be to take for a pill for someone to take, and he could become self-aware. And I didn't get it at first, because it's a very hard conversation to have with yourself, to be really open and honest and transparent about, oh, that actually does trigger me, or that does piss me off, or when this happens, I do react in that way. But you can't become solution aware if you're not problem aware. You have to first identify the problem, which your coach can help you with. Put your hand up and go, oh shit, that is a problem. Like that does get to me. And then be like, right, well, if I keep letting it get to me and keep creating that outcome, then nothing's going to change. So become problem aware, become self-aware, and then start actively looking to act or react in a different way. And that's how you can start taking those progressive steps forward to shift your mindset and be like, oh, right, when this triggering thing happens or something else happens, how can I react in a different way? And once you just start going at it with that different mindset and create different strategies, you know, slowly but surely, you know, you're going to start creating better outcomes consistently over the weeks, months, years, which will, again, doesn't just serve you for losing a bit of weight. That serves you for the rest of your life, because you know yourself, you know what you need, you know how to show up the best you can.
But like you said, Jim, earlier, that kind of stuff, like women come to you for help, usually because they want to lose a specific amount of weight. Women leave you and graduate from you being self-aware, which helps them in so many different areas of their life. But what's really difficult is getting that bit across in the same sexy way as competing with other people who lose a stone in 6 minutes and those 6-week shred plans. And that's hard. How do you feel about that side of the diet industry? And how do you cut through that noise to make people realise what is possible, what the potential could be?
We cut through it with connection.
We cut the BS.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, there you go. Hashtag, yeah.
Yeah.
Explain that a second for people who might not realise what that means.
So cut the BS is one of our slogans that we kind of have and hashtags that we use with the business on the back of all our t-shirts. And it does mean, you know, cutting through the BS with all the bullshit that's out there, with all the fitness and the diet industry and all that crap that you've just kind of mentioned. But it's also about cutting through the BS with yourself, you know, with your own attitude and stigma towards a lot of different things. And it's having them deep and honest conversations to be like, hey, the way I'm talking, the way I'm acting, that isn't serving me. Like, my attitude actually stinks a little bit, and we're going to pull you up on it, and we're going to help you become the person you know you want to be, because that's a better version of you, and that's going to serve you so much more. So it's very much like the way Kelly's having that open and honest conversation. She's telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And for a lot of the people that we coach, they've never had, and we don't do it in a mean or callous way. We do it in a compassionate and empathetic way of that. We're telling you this because we care, because we really care, and we actually want the best for you, and you need to hear this. You might not want to hear it, but you need to hear this, and we'll do it in a way that's gonna serve you best moving forward. So that's very much where, you know, our hashtag and a big part of our brand has been built on that slogan, which is cut the BS, with all the other crap out there, but equally with yourself.
How do you then fight back against those sexy quick fix solutions?
Fight back as in, I take it back to what I was saying before about connection. I think it's massive. It's a massive part of what we do. Why? Because ultimately, with a quick fix or with any sort of like fad or whatever you want to call it out there, I doubt you actually get to speak to someone.
Yeah, that's true.
I doubt you actually get to level with someone on a call to actually go deeper. You know, changing someone's life, having lasting impact in someone's life isn't a surface level scratch. It's just not. You've got to go a lot deeper than that. And the only way to do that is to have connection. So how we cut through it, you know, we actually talk to people. we communicate. We start to really get into the understanding of why they want to lose maybe the 10 pounds. You said that ladies come to us because they want to lose a certain amount of weight. Well, yeah, surface level, they want to lose a certain amount of weight, but why do they want to do it? You know, it's because they want to feel more attractive in front of the husband. They want to feel more attractive for themselves in front of the mirror. They want to be in a place where they feel like they've got control of their health and fitness. They want to be in a place where they feel like that, because of the pillars of their life, they feel like that might be disjointed from the pillars of their life. So the only way to really get into that and understand how to have that lasting impact is to connect. Is to talk to them and say, okay, well, what are the problematic areas? How do we start to solve this together? So yeah, how we cut through it.
That leads me absolutely beautifully onto my next question, which is, what is the one thing, and Jim, I'm going to ask you this because you speak to a lot of people day in, day out. What's the one question either you always get asked or the thing that you seem to say and solve for people when you're speaking to those ladies who need help?
We seem to solve for people.
So, you know, like when you get on a call with somebody and you're not, like you were saying then, and you're right, I want to lose weight, but why? There's always like a deeper why. Is there something you end up repeating all the time to people, or the question that somebody will ask you that you tend to answer all the time on those calls? Is there anything in particular?
I think one of the biggest things is why I haven't got there. I've been doing this for so many years. Why have I not got there before? And again, it comes back to that idea of doing all those other things, you know, those quick fixes, or, you know, things that just don't serve them long term. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. You know, every time you go through a cycle of doing something which has failed time and time and time again, it just chips away at your mindset. It fractures your mindset a little bit more. And people just ask, why do I keep doing it? Why do I keep going through that cycle after cycle when I know it's not right? And I think that's really what we're there to solve. We're there to solve, well, yeah, I understand. Why do you keep doing that? What are you searching for? What is it that you're trying to achieve in your goal in life? And then we start to break it down and say, okay, well, how do we get there? You know, how do we start to achieve that? But not only for the next 10 days, 30 days, 2 months. How do we do that long term? How do we do that continuously? How do we change? How do we have that lasting impact? So yeah, I think it's that. Why do I keep fucking up? Basically, why do I keep failing?
You don't get to give up on your health, fitness, and nutrition. It's something that we will all do or not do to the day we die. So I always think, like, let's say you go and learn a new sport. Who's got a sport? I don't know. Football or soccer.
Jiu-jitsu, that weird stuff that you did before COVID.
You know, like, let's say you go and do a sport, you know, you might show up 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. You might go, you know what? I'm not very good at this. You know, I don't want to keep going. I'm not enjoying it anymore. But when you start a diet, you know, people might do it and they might do it for a couple of weeks and be like, oh, I can't do this diet. But then after they stop said diet, they don't stop eating. They still eat every day. And how they eat affects how they feel and how they think and so many other parts of their life. So they don't get to give up. I mean, they just get to a point another couple of weeks down where how they're actually eating and thinking and feeling and moving is so painful that they go, I need to try something else again. So it's like, right, I need to get back on a diet. And the next marketing thing that shows up is like, right, I'm going to try this one. And that's why I think they go, you know, you never hear of anyone going, oh, I've been trying to do jiu-jitsu for 20 years and I just go for 3 weeks and then stop and then go for, you know, like they don't do it.
You're right. Yeah. And I'd never thought of it like that. But
versus like your diet, you don't stop eating. You know what I mean? You're going to keep doing it. So that's why it just keeps pulling people back in and back in and back in, and they keep trying. But it's just like, as Jim said, it just keeps chipping away and makes you more and more fractured. And a lot of our clients don't believe they can even get in shape. They really don't. You know, we can give them the greatest pitch in the world and tell them all the things that we want, but they still don't believe it because they've had 20 years of maybe doing 3, 4, 5 diets a year of failing and failing and failing and failing. And it's really sad, but that's why we offer in a different way. As Jim says, we listen, we care, we show them that, like, you know, through education, through proper coaching, we're going to be able to get you to where you need to be.
What is your favourite quote or saying that you like to live your life by? Jaymie, I'll ask you this first.
Oh.
I know you've got a lot. You've got a lot up your sleeve. Jim is actually the master of this.
Yeah.
On our weekly team meeting calls, we sometimes, if we're lucky, we get story time with Jim, which is usually linked to a quote or a fable or something.
I've got so many. Probably one that stands out for me is like, what gets measured gets managed. You know, just like the way people look at the bank accounts and manage the money and the finances. You know, when you're looking at something repetitively and you put a plan in place, you're able to manage it a lot better. And I think a lot of people just start diets and eat quote unquote healthy or clean. I think that's enough. You think that's enough to manage it, but it's not. I mean, you can do that to a degree, but just when you start measuring things, it allows you to manage them, but it also allows you to become more educated around what's happening. And it does make a big difference. That's definitely not my favourite though. It's just one of them. Yeah.
Do you know, I thought you were going to say how you do one thing is how you do everything. I know you say that one a lot.
Yeah. Only because my girlfriend, Steph, is probably borderline type A personality, very, you know, likes things a certain way, and it serves her, you know, she would never do anything less than 100%. And I was like, that's what I want to be like. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not like that. I mean, I would be like, so one thing that stuck out for me was like I was cleaning the pan after cooking some scrambled eggs in there, and I put the spatula back, and then I looked at the spatula and it was clean, but it had like a layer of like white that maybe the scrubbing brush wouldn't get off. So I had to get like the metal scour to get it off. I put it there, and I think I'd read that quote like that day. And took the spatula back off and I got the metal scour, and I was like, I'm getting this 100% clean because that's how I want to show up every day, 100%. So I put the spatula back, and I was like, you know, and just little things. It's you know, it's even daft. Like even before I go to bed, say I've watched something on TV on the couch, like I'll leave the couch, you know, make the blankets and puff the pillows back up and just do little things like that. So I don't know, just little things. It's stuck with me for about a couple of years now, and I just try and show up like to that level all the time because I know that'll serve me. Like it's nicer, come down, living room's nice and tidy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The bed's made 100% right every time, you know, and obviously sometimes life gets in the way, but I just feel like if I can show up like that in all these little tasks, I'll show up in work, I'll show up with clients, I'll show up at my best in other areas. So, yeah, that was definitely one that stuck with me too.
What about you, Jim?
Yeah, I think as Jay said, I've got tons that I sort of like
You're the master
rolling
of
around in my
these.
head.
Master of them.
I think you know my one of my favourite ones. I don't think we can say it on.
I can't think now.
I said it on
Excuses.
Instagram stories yesterday. Oh no.
Which one?
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
said
do
it-
that
I
one.
Said, I said opinions.
Yeah, but excuses is the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Go on, do
Yeah,
that one.
excuses or opinions. I like arseholes. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think another one, that sort of like springs out to me is, wake up with intention, go back, go to bed, complete. I think that's really important. You got to wake up the day with an intention, whether it's whatever that is to you, live your life, but definitely go to bed complete. That I'm feeling good and satisfied that you've given it your best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fab. So we talked a little bit earlier on about the struggles that you'd gone through in business. And I wanted to take a moment before we wrap up and celebrate the successes, because you've just hit just over 500,000 followers on Instagram, which is no mean feat. And for anybody listening to this who is in marketing, business, understands social media, there's one thing which I don't think people will realise, which still blows my brain to this day, that you post twice a day, every day, have done for 5 years. And Jaymie, you have never scheduled anything. You do it.
I do.
I cannot, I just can't get my head around that, because you've done it consistently every day for over 5 years.
Maybe missed 5 or 6 posts, but that's it. It is like programmed into me now. Yeah. I almost have like a nervous panic attack from it's like past 9 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I haven't posted. Where's my phone? Steph's just like, but no, yeah, it is just almost like hardwired into me now. It does make a difference with organic reach. The platform does want you doing that. Should have probably outsourced it by this point. Probably will do at some point, but it's I think it's consistency, isn't it? It's consistency. Consistency matters in every part of business, health, fitness, nutrition. Consistency matters. So yeah.
So go on, what has been the best part of growing your business over the last 5 years?
You know what?
Well, 6, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
6 years, yeah.
It's the client, seeing the stuff with the clients is unbelievable and amazing. But honestly, I'm really at this point enjoying the team aspect of it more, and the team building and just the culture inside the team. It's just great. It's everyone's got this, deep passion to just help more people, and everyone just clicks and connects so much. And our team's from literally all around the world now, from Canada to America to Stacey's in Brunei and Asia and all around the UK. And it's we're all different people from different places and different backgrounds, all with the same passion and desire to just help more people and change more lives. And the team meetings are just the ideas people are bringing to the tables, and we go and make new content and new stuff, not content for the front end, content for the back end, new workbooks, worksheets that are going to help and serve the clients. It's just amazing. I wish we'd have been able to do a team holiday. We are going to make it happen. COVID's threw a few spanners in the works, but yeah, the team aspect of it for me is just being huge, because I do love what I do, but then if I can love what I do with the people I'm working with, it's like, it already doesn't feel like work, but now it's just like on another level. So that's been a huge part for it for me.
Could you ever imagine as you walk out that meeting saying, we've just wasted 60 grand and you've got your app on a pen drive, that fast forward a few years, you'd have a team of over 20 all over the world?
Yeah,
that must be a nice feeling.
Yeah,
I want you to, because I know you work at such speed, and I think this is actually a nice opportunity to have a little moment and be really proud. Look at what you've done in a really short. Yeah, I know it's felt like a long time frame, but actually 5.5 years is a drop in the ocean, really, in terms of business. But look at what you've achieved.
I think it's that iceberg moment, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
All this work that no one sees.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of like popping off the top now, thinking, it's.
But it has been, relentless. Like sometimes back to back 100-hour weeks, 90-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks. Not sleeping. I remember gym we were doing in the middle of 100-hour weeks. Gym turned up at my house, And he was like, I've just read this thing on Grant Cardone. He's like, we just need to go maniac and then something will happen. And I was just like, all right. And we just started just going even more relentlessly at it because we were just in a bit of a lull. And it did. And it is been the hardest thing I've ever done by a mile. But equally the best thing. It's given me more grit and resilience towards absolutely anything I do in my life. I just feel in a weird way like unfuckable because it's like even you know what, even if I just lost it all, I'm just like, I could do it all again. I could do it in a fraction of time. It's what that grit and perseverance and education has given us. And just the fact that when everyone in business will have good and bad things happen, but when they just happen now, it's almost as if we've just become numb to it because business is hard. Every day is getting punched and kicked in the face. So, you do get used to it to a degree. And it has. 5.5 years to drop in the ocean, but it's been a roller coaster. But yeah, I wouldn't change any of it.
I would say though, you're not like maniac 100-hour weeks at the moment, are you?
No.
You've definitely renegotiated.
I think we'd both be single. God, I think that's building a business and managing and having a relationship alongside it is tough, challenging. But yeah, it's there's got to be compromise there to some degree. So yeah.
So if anybody is listening to this and they want to find out more about you, where should we send them to?
So they can go over to bodysmartfitness.com. They can go over to our Instagram page, which is @bodysmartfitness. We are Body Smart Fitness on Facebook. We are now on TikTok, Body Smart Fitness.
And YouTube.
Our first YouTube video will probably be live. In fact, about our second one will be live by the time this goes. So that's going to be exciting. We're really going to go at it with the production on this stuff. So exciting.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for listening. My name's Gemma. Your names are?
Jaymie.
And Jim.
And we'll see you next time on the Body Smart Fitness podcast.